Well, it helps if you take that off.
Hello there.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning,
Good
Scott.
morning.
Good morning, Rachelle. Good morning, everyone.
Who
That's
else? Who's
there.
here today?
Well, there's some people there. I've invited them in to chat
All
with
right.
us.
Yeah, come on in and chat with us.
Yeah, they
Well,
are
good
here.
morning. Good
They are.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming in. Hey, Scott.
Yes. We have
you
two
ready?
Canadians with us this morning.
Woohoo. Are you
Maybe
ready?
more.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Clink.
1, 2, 3, clink.
Clink.
Clink, clink, clink. Okay, clink. All right. Welcome to the official, give the official wave, Lynn. Ann Lynn Show. I'm Ann.
I'm Lynn, and we are real life sisters. Believe it or not.
I know. It's hard to believe.
I know. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And I just want to share with everyone how, I had a total right knee replacement on January 4th. And so yesterday was my first. Now, when I came home from the hospital, there was home health came in. They come in, they give you exercises, they evaluate you, they monitor everything. I had a pressure bandage on my incision when I came home. So anyway, they monitored it, and they were able to take it off, and that gave me some relief, didn't it? Because
you came over to
a knee that's been operated on was like beyond whatever. And anyway, so yesterday I got to come by and visit with you and have a cup of your delicious iced coffee that you made us. And I came from the VA hospital in a large city, and I had my first physical therapy.
Good morning, R.E. Good morning, Scotty. Yeah. So she had her first physical therapy. So
I had my first official one. I am supposed to have 8 weeks at 2 times a week and physical therapy. So I went yesterday, and the first thing he did, of course, he kind of limbered up my knee and around my leg, kind of got it limbered up. And then he did some checking to see how far I could stretch it down, and, those types of where I'm at.
Where you at?
And then Ann, he put me on a bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I haven't been on a bicycle in like
eons.
Months and months. So he said, I'm just going to have you go 6, maybe 8 minutes. Well, 13 or 14 minutes later, when the machine shut off and I'd gone 0.78 miles.
Wow. 3/4 of a mile. Yeah.
I went almost
more.
3/4 of a mile.
Yeah.
So my need today is like, I know I did it. Right.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
But I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's only been 5 weeks, right? 5 weeks.
Well, that's what
tomorrow. It's 5 weeks tomorrow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right.
Yeah.
5.
So I think I say in the next 2 weeks you're going to be really feeling well. Give it 2 more full weeks.
I guess so. And he said that I was a lot further down the road than a lot of people at this point.
Well, great. You're on the mend. You're on the mend. Yes. And we want to say good morning to everybody that's in the chat this morning.
Yeah, Glenda
is
we've
here. Got Scott from Rambling with the Brooms and Brampton Gardener. Our guest is there in the chat. Get some questions ready for her.
Yes.
Get some gardening questions ready for her. Yeah. And let's see, we've got R.E. Smith is here. Scotty Too Hottie is here. Homestead in the Wood with Dee. And she's going to be on our show. Let me pull it up here. On the 21st. Yeah, on the 21st.
Did you see Wicked Awesome Gardening is here?
Yes. And Grace and Fire is in the background there. So we're going to have We're going to have a lot of fun today, aren't we?
Oh, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
to
Gonna
talking with Rachelle and seeing how she grows her garden. And she has, well, in the summer, her garden is beautiful.
Yep. And so I believe we're ready to bring our guest in. So everybody, please give a warm welcome in the chat. You all say good morning to Rachelle. And I don't know,
Yeah.
is it, I call you like the Brampton Gardener. I hope that's correct.
Brampton Gardener.
Yeah. And here she comes. There she is.
Yay.
Good morning, ladies.
Good
Hello.
morning to you.
Set my microphone here in the front.
There you go.
I guess I don't control anything. I don't have to worry about typing or
No.
sit back and relax.
You can.
Yeah.
Unless you want to follow along with the comments and on.
I'm watching. I can read them on there.
Oh, yeah, you are, because you're in it. Duh. Okay. Granny moment.
Well, Glinda, Grace and Fire, she's just with us for a few minutes. She has a busy morning, and I'm so glad that she's in the chat for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And she's asked Scott, I think she said, Scott, thank you for dropping links this morning. He's being our mod father this morning.
Yeah.
Scott's picking up the slack.
Yes, he's picking up the slack. Exactly right.
Yes.
So good morning, Rachelle. And we would love for you to tell us all about Brampton Gardener. Where did you get that name?
Yeah.
I live in Brampton. And I'm a gardener.
Oh, that's your city.
Pretty simple. I decided to come up with a channel, and I was trying to think of a channel name. And I went back to my marketing days in high school, and they always said, pick something simple. And if you pick, like if you start a business and you pick this name of your city, it gives the impression that it's been there forever, right? Start a, paint store, and I could name it Rachelle's Paint. And but if I name it Brampton Paint, it sounds official. It sounds like it's been here for 30 years.
Sure.
It gives, it's also really high up on the search, which doesn't matter as much, but it did back in those days. So I coming up with a name, and then all of a sudden I was like, you know what? I'm in Brampton. I'm a gardener. It is what it is. And it just, it became me. Oh, you can't see my shirt. Woo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, I like that.
So I started my channel, gosh, when was it? 2021? I think it's 2021. So this April, I will have been gardening in my backyard for 20 years. And, I started out, basically it was just, a few handfuls of annuals every year. It was a small backyard. It's a townhouse. And then over the years, we kind of just kept expanding the beds, and I kept expanding and started, starting from seed. So going back even like 2007, 2008, I was, buying seeds online and starting a handful. I was growing, the specialty tomatoes that you can't buy at the store, the heirloom style tomatoes, a handful of different peppers I wanted, and my herbs, and a few like varieties of annuals that you can't like pick up at the store, right? Because I was in really limited space. I didn't have anywhere really to start growing seeds. And so I just was doing like, if it was something I could buy at the stores, I wasn't going to grow it, just, space wise and everything.
Right.
And so hooked on these really cool varieties of seeds. And so like Baker Creek seeds and all this and that. So I did start expanding and growing, a handful more seeds. And then in 2020, so I work with my husband, we do construction. And for the past, for several years in a row there, starting in 2015, we'd have that we worked on at the university. And so it was from April, May, and June, which is prime garden season. And so we had talked about wanting to expand the garden, but we just never had time because it was the busiest time. Like we were working 6-7 days a week, long days. And by the time you get home, it was all I could do just to water what I already had. And so we were in lockdown. We didn't work for 3 months. We were just completely shut down. Right. And so we were like, well, it's April. We got nothing else to do. We might as well enlarge the bed. So we went out in the backyard. We played around with the hoses, trying to get the layout how we wanted it. And the struggle for that was we couldn't get any compost. We couldn't hardly get any soil. Nothing was open. So here, even the stores like Home Depot and Walmart that had a garden center, some of them hadn't even ordered anything in because of the lockdown. And then the other stuff was, and they just didn't have a lot available. So the only place I could actually buy potting soil was at Costco. It was the only place open. And then none of the local nurseries, like none of the stores that have, garden centers brought any flowers in, including Costco didn't have hardly anything. And then a lot of the local nurseries, you had to call your order in and then come do pickup. So it was just, it was really awkward to get plants and flowers. So now I have all this new garden space. I have all this just raw soil in the backyard and nothing to put in it. So that was kind of frustrating. So my husband went up to the dollar store and he came home with like just packs of seeds. I've done a lot of direct sowing mainly because it's on a hill. So that I sowed a bunch of seeds and like the next day we had torrential downpours. So the top of the hills, all the seeds kind of slid down. So I had like mass plantings down at the bottom, but as much. But he brought home, I had alyssum, I had asters, 2 different kinds of asters. There was candy tuft, there was sweet williams, there was dianthus. And it was a variety of plants that I had never really planted before, stuff I wouldn't have bothered to grow from seed. And it filled up, it looked gorgeous. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, yeah, I need massive amounts of flowers to fill this new space. Which still isn't very big, but I am like, go big or go home, right? Like I want it packed full. And so that's when I realized, no, I'm going to have to start growing all of my own bedding. So instead of just growing a handful for accents or, really pretty couple petunias for a planter, I now have to grow hundreds of annuals.
Amazing.
Right. And so this is the problem I set up at the time was I just had, a table in front of my bedroom window.
Yes.
How many grow lights? I didn't have any shelves. I didn't have anything. So I ended up getting the shelving unit at Costco, the big metal one that everyone's got, like that just metal kitchen rack, put in for my bedroom window. And then a good friend of mine was moving out of province to Nova Scotia, and she had a bunch of seeds starting and gave me several grow lights.
Wow.
Really nice grow lights and some tower gardens. And so the first year I kind of was really still struggling on space because you get your trays of the traditional size soil, containers. Tray, if you get the really big ones, you can get 48. Yes. And they take up so much room. And so I was still struggling to be able to grow enough to fill my bed. So I was still doing a lot with the winter sowing, and I did a lot of, outside. And so I was watching a lot of YouTube. Yes. Prior to 2020, right? I was a huge fan. I was already watching, Garden Answer, You Can't Eat the Grass, Flower Hill Farm, all of these, Gardener's Workshop. I was really big on watching the, cut flower farming and getting a lot of ideas for plants and flowers to grow in the backyard. And soil blocks over on Gardener's Workshop. And it just absolutely blew my mind that I could grow plants and seeds in these little tiny soil blocks, right? So I have a little show and tell.
Yes.
Okay, so I started these seeds last week. You haven't even seen the video.
Oh,
this is very small. This is a small cafeteria tray.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have 120 soil blocks.
My goodness.
So I have 120 seeds.
Oh my goodness.
So all my, these are micro dwarf tomatoes. And then I've got lots of herbs. So I've got several different kinds of basil coming up. And then I've got a handful of flowers on the back here. This is my ornamental kale that's going bonkos.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. But I think this is pretty good germination for a week.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. Just started popping through. And then I still do kind of the traditional broadcast seed method with the little tiny seeds, depending on what they are. Yeah. So these also were started the same day.
Wow.
This is my bok choy. And these seeds say best before 2018.
Yeah.
Don't throw out old seeds. Never throw out old seeds.
Yeah.
These are my onions, and this is what I'm going to be using as kind of a fake microgreen / vinaigrette.
Okay.
Mix. So I've got a couple different kinds of basil. I've got parsley. So that I can just kind of come and get my fresh herb.
I
gotta try and get them back without knocking them all off the
counter.
That's amazing.
While you're doing that, I want to say hi to Joe. Grow Big TV is here, and Kimberly's joined us, and Conquest Josh has joined us.
And look who else!
And
look who else is here, Lynn. Look at me.
Just a minute. We have Rachelle. We say hello to the Major. You ready?
Yeah. Salute,
Major.
We always salute the Major. Well,
hopefully I didn't get ink on my nose.
How many people do you feed with all of this? You must have a herd, because that's
there's 3 of us. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Well, you know what? The basil, like I like to cook with the basil.
Yes.
Well, I like to freeze it. I do not like dried basil.
Okay.
I do not like the taste of dried basil. I don't like it in things. I don't like pasta sauce made with dried basil. There's just something about it I don't like. So when I have a lot of extra basil, I just blend it up with a bit of olive oil and put it in ice cubes in trays in the freezer. And that's how I preserve my basil.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Like that. Then
now, let me ask you, do you dehydrate or do you freeze dry anything?
I dehydrate a lot of things. Yeah. So I have a nice dehydrator. I'll throw in a lot of like my peppers. I've done tomatoes, but I've decided I prefer doing tomatoes as like a tomato, actually roast it and then store it in olive oil in the fridge. I prefer that to the like drying them.
Yes.
It's quicker, it's easier, and it tastes better.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have the dehydrator. I'll dehydrate a bunch of, other herbs, leaves. Kind of gotten into some more like the tea. So last year I dehydrated a lot of like lemon verbena, stevia, lemon balm, and mint, things like that for teas. And then, my husband, we like to make jerky, or sometimes we'll make fruit roll-ups. I use it for peels, orange, lemon, and stuff like that. So I do use the dehydrator quite a bit for that. This year my goal is to get into preserving and pressing flowers. So I'm going to add that to my list of overwhelming
expanding.
Because I need something.
Well, I want to tell you, your garden, it reminds me of what I think a garden in England in a village would look like.
Thank you. It's kind of I go for like just color and for uniformity.
And your plants are so healthy and they are just greens and beautiful color. Oh, thank you. And then you have you have a lattice. What do they call?
Well, I'm going to bring up. Can I bring your channel up?
Sure.
And share it?
So I have the arbor.
Arbor. I love your arbor. I couldn't think of the word.
Let's go here. Here is Rachelle's channel.
Yes. And if you look under the videos, you'll see that she did a walkthrough in August. It was August 31st, wasn't it, Rachelle? You did a walkthrough of your garden.
Sure. I don't remember. That was a long time.
It was beautiful.
I'll take your word for it.
It was beautiful.
Well,
this one is the first one of 22. Yes.
Oh, this is 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you go under videos, Ann, you will find the latest.
Well, I am in. Okay, we'll go to video. Yeah.
Go on down. Okay.
Yes.
Just keep going.
Yes.
Oh, and your terrarium. All the gathering up of your terrarium was amazing.
I still haven't done the big one yet.
I knew that there had to be another one coming out.
Yeah, so I have the really big one, and I just doing that. So hopefully soon. before
How
I get
about-
too caught up in all the
There
other
you go.
seeds.
August. That's it right there.
Yep.
That one shows. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
gonna-
Just skip
We're
the
gonna
ad.
watch
It's fine.
a
Yeah.
infomercial.
Skip
There we
it.
go. Just look at the flowers, and just look.
I know. It's beautiful.
Bye, Glenda. Have a great day. Hi, Joe.
Bye, Glenda.
My goodness.
Oops, there you go. Well, then this is, wait till you get to the garden. Now, Rachelle, what is that red thing?
Oh, that's a outdoor air conditioner.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. No, the red thing? The red one?
I'm mad about the color. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My husband got it on clearance. It is amazing. So it has a big fan in it.
Yes.
And it also has a big tank for water. So
Okay.
you can fill it up with water from the hose. And so air going through the fan.
Okay.
And you can also turn it on into like a misting mode. But it will easily drop the temperature for about 20 degrees out on the deck when it's going. It's amazing.
Oh, well, that's cool. I just didn't know if it was a power supply, whatever.
No, generator. Yeah. It's an outdoor air conditioner. And
now, those are impatiens, right?
Those are impatiens. I grew all of those from seed. So I think I bought like 5 or 6 plants last year. So pretty much everything you see was from seed and or bulbs or tubers. But
yes. Look at this. Just wait. There's the garden. Now you're getting a glimpse of it.
Polka dot plants, the coleus, lobelia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they were all from seed. It was kind of crazy. I had like over 300 petunias on a tray. So the soil blocks have transformed my seed growing capabilities. Because now I can literally grow thousands of seedlings in a very small space. That and the greenhouse that my husband set up. So that comes down once we can get things going, but it's got a heater, it's got lights, it's got a fan. So once beginning of April hits, I can start anything that's getting too big for the grow room. I can take it outside and throw it into the greenhouse, and that has been a huge game changer as well.
Oh, absolutely. Greenhouses are amazing. Now that's part of your trellis. I mean, it comes out from your deck, doesn't it?
Well, the deck has a gazebo on it.
There's a gazebo. Thank you.
There's a black gazebo, and then just next to the railing there. Once I turn around, you'll see. Next at the end of Tomato Alley is the arbor. They're not connected. They're close to each other, and it's all black, so it all kind of looks like it goes together. So
it's just.
So you have proved that if anybody goes, I just have a little small space. You have proved that you can do this even on a small space.
Well, that's why I started the channel. Was I was watching these people that had these big gardens, and a lot of them would be like, oh, now we're going into this section of the garden and this section of the garden, and it would take like an hour just to walk through their property. And I was like I could like do a garden tour, be like, and there's the garden. But then I was like, but I grow a lot. Like I had 40 different, I had like 40 pepper plants last year, all just tucked in planters and pots throughout the garden. I've expanded and grow a few things over in my neighbor's garden now too. And so that was kind of the inspiration for my channel, was to inspire people. Just because you're and I'm in Canada, I'm just outside of Toronto, so I'm in a zone 5B, I guess. So I was like, you know what, I grow a lot of food. I grow tomatoes, I grow peppers, I grow a lot of herbs, and just a variety of cucumbers, zucchini, things like that, flowers. And in a very small space. I'm in a townhouse, and we are fortunate that we have kind of a long, narrow, some people have really small townhouse properties, and ours goes out back, but it's not all, it's very hard to work with because of the hill, right? So it's a very steep hill, and taken a lot of trial and error over the years to get it all worked out and figured out. But I do a lot of containers. So
that's Dexter right there,
and that is Dexter the maniac. Yeah, so these are, I put all my indies along here. They do really well. I just string some rope up onto the gazebo, and they just trellis right up there. And it's nice. It gives a lot of shade and privacy on the deck in the summertime.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know you had green beans too.
Oh yeah, the other side had a lot of beans this year.
You did a lot.
Carolina beans, and I had the what are the pink the really pretty ones. I can't remember what they're called.
I'm sorry, I'm not a big gardener. I wish I were.
Well, that's not true. You've grown
I grow, but I mean to say yes, but to say this and that, I'm not fluent though. Well, although this year we have a lot of seeds.
Well, you know, it's all trial and error. You know,
right?
Some years you do better than others, and like this year, those are like my little egg. The nasturtiums. So this year, my trial and error was the nasturtiums. They took over everything. They got so enormous, and they're beautiful, but they shaded out everything. Like they shaded out my onions. Like
yeah.
You know, these are supposed to be Walla Walla sweets, and this was my biggest harvest. But they got so shaded out because of the nasturtiums. The nasturtiums just took over and strangled everything, and I didn't have the heart just to rip them out.
Yeah.
So I just complained about it.
Well, they're beautiful.
This year
they were gorgeous. Well, and I started, if you see up the fence there, they're climbing nasturtiums. Oh, yes, the squirrels. So the squirrels have been very active today out on the back wall.
Yes.
Running and up in that tree and bouncing. And Dexter has been going bananas all morning long. So now he's worn himself out. He put himself into bed. He's taking a nap because he's exhausted.
Look, he's got a nut in his mouth there.
Well, his nest is up there.
Yeah, they had a nest up in the tree. So
I think you can see it better now, right? In the winter.
Yeah, in the winter you can see it up there. I don't know if it's still there. I think the wind kind of. But.
Well, it might be better for Dexter if he moves on then.
Dexter thinks so. He's trying to do his best to get them out of there, but they do not care.
Nature might do it for him.
And they also built a nest in that hanging flower basket there.
Oh, later. Wow.
Oh. Yeah, that's not so good, probably.
No.
But anyway,
it's terrifying. Every time you went out on the deck, you didn't know if a squirrel was going to pop out.
Yeah. But
I just thought that it was your yard was just I don't use the word magical. It's just enchanted. I could just see sitting there and having some tea and just being
well, it's funny because we used to go camping a lot in the summer, and then I don't know, we just enjoy being out on the deck so much.
Yes, I can see that.
Out in the backyard, and it's so beautiful.
Stay right there.
So lush. Like I did live in Florida for a while, so that's why I really like to bring in a lot of that like lush tropical feel with the cannas and the big leaves on a lot of my plants.
I got just a minute, Ann. Ann, stay right there. Don't move, Ann.
Oh no.
Rachelle. What? If I'm going to go on vacation, I'm going to think Myrtle Beach, somewhere like that. Tell everyone where you went. And it's up there, Ann, at the top. Where did you go, Rachelle?
Oh, last January?
Yes.
In January, I went on vacation. Yeah, I went to Alaska.
Well, no, you went to Alaska, and I watched your Alaska.
That was last year. Oh, this year. Oh, this year we went to Cuba.
Where?
Right up
Cuba.
Oh, how was that?
I actually have a tan. I'm very happy with it. I am working on editing that video too, but it's just like there's so much footage, and I haven't got.
Go down, Ann. Go down. Wrong way.
Oh, ID Jester's asking where I lived in Florida. I lived in Boca. And I did not really grow too much. I was still living at home. I was with my parents and was in a condo. I had a little tiny coffee tree, little lemon tree, like those little kits you buy at the store down there. I had that growing and some herbs, but that was it. It was just on a patio in a condo.
let me
and go to shorts. Go to shorts.
Well, before we go on, I want to welcome ID Jester because
Yes.
Jester is part of the gaming community that my husband Dave is part of with his YouTube channel. And Jester, I am so thrilled to see you again in our chat.
Thank
And
you.
you know, you've been fun to watch. They have a show on Saturdays called The War Room. And if you or anybody you know that's into their solitaire games, but they're fun. I know Dave's they put a new video out, or it's coming out, or it may have already come out. But I was just listening to him, and it's like rolling the dice and doing all. You read cards and blah blah blah, and they show it all, right? They go through the gameplay, and he'll get so excited, and I get a blast out of just hearing him being so excited with, oh, my guy got it. You know, he didn't make it. Oh, and Jester, anyhow, is part of that. That's a wonderful community too, of men and women. So I want to say good morning to Jester. I always, and please subscribe. Look at his channel and think about subscribing, because they do a lot of stuff and it's a lot of fun, especially for the fellas, but there are a lot of ladies that also play. So thank you for giving. I just wanted to say good morning to Jester. All right. So now Alaska. Now, are you going on this next Alaska cruise?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, it would be great. That would be really fun. But no, my parents live in Anchorage. Visit them.
Your parents live in Anchorage?
Yeah, I'm originally from Alaska, actually.
Oh my goodness. So then I suppose your husband brought you to Canada, or a job, or?
Yes, no, my husband. So I was born in Alaska, up in Fairbanks. And then when I was young, my parents, where I grew up, went to school. And then I moved to Florida and I lived there for 3 years. And then I met this guy.
Oh,
I just said
he's from here. Yeah. So we met, and I ended up moving up here. I'm like, I just got to somewhere warm.
Rachelle, where in, they're asking, where in Florida did you live?
Oh yeah. Boca Raton.
Boca Raton. Okay. That's a good area.
Oh,
so
you
are, yeah. So you are an American.
I am an American. Yes.
Yeah. But you're also Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh. I do not have my Canadian citizenship. I just have a PR card here.
Oh, okay.
I never bothered, because like once you you go through all the process of getting your PR card and everything, and then you have to wait 5 years before you can apply for citizenship, and it's especially back then it was very expensive. And being I'm from the US, like I don't need any visas or anything like that. The only thing becoming a citizen here would get me I could vote, which the vote, it's a mess here too. And and a passport. But I already have a US passport, so I can go anywhere. Right? Like if I was from a country that had more of a limited access to things, then yes, a Canadian passport would be more. But I mean, I still fly to Cuba on my US passport, so.
Now, and when I say go up, I mean like towards
go
the top.
Down. Okay.
Now, no, go down. Okay, right. Keep going.
One more little stop.
Right there. See Cuba? See Cuba? Press those water. Yes.
Click that ocean.
Click that ocean. Looky there. That's Cuba.
So we were on, it's a small island. There's like a kind of a group of islands there out of Cayo, and this was Cayo Paradon is the one we were on. And there are so many pelicans.
Wow.
Yes,
and they do not care that you're swimming there. And they just dive right into the water. And it's huge birds too. They're huge.
Oh, they would definitely hurt a person.
Oh my God. If they ran into you, yeah,
They
for sure.
knock you out. Yeah.
They got a little, we were out swimming for a while and they got a little too close. My daughter's like, nope, I'm done.
They're like,
they're dive bombing for fish, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm jealous. He can see the ocean from his office window. Oh, I miss that. So I lived in Boca and I worked in
Oh.
Fort Lauderdale, and I would leave early just so I could drive A1A all the way down to work instead of going on the 95, because I absolutely loved
Oh.
driving along the ocean in the morning. So
Now, you had an all-inclusive, so I know you said
yes.
you booked it the last minute and it was an all-inclusive. Now,
Yes.
all right, so you flew from where? Toronto?
Yep, direct flight.
How what? Tell me how far you went. I don't know.
Well,
You went
it's basically, I don't know, we were what, close, like
It's about,
Florida?
yeah, I mean, it's like what, 20 miles
I
off
think
the
it's 90
coast?
miles. I think the trip
90.
was like 90 miles from like Key West, and
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
we were on like the eastern
Yes.
side, the top eastern side. The island of Cuba is enormous. Like,
Yeah,
you
okay.
don't realize, oh my gosh, like it dwarfs Jamaica and Haiti, Dominican. Like it's a huge island. So
Yes. Yeah.
this blew my mind. This is in the lobby, and they had amazing gardens all over, but this is a 6-story morning glory vine.
Wonder
Oh.
how old that
And it
is.
was just blooming like crazy. Like it was just absolutely stunning.
Beautiful.
Like I just was like, I was aghast at that. They also had these like enormous staghorn ferns throughout the place, and cannas, and like here I'll have like they're like, my prized flower, and there they use them as hedges,
Wow.
That,
Wow.
that is something.
So it was
That was
very lush. I
gorgeous.
need to get back on the editing on that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you've got things you're doing.
If that fell off, oh my goodness. Fortunately, controlled area, so even like it would be really hard to get like a hurricane or any winds coming through that section, thankfully.
Mhm, mhm.
But
Wow.
So what's going on here?
oh, this was so we have a lot of really great programming going on here in Brampton. The city of, so the latest, we haven't got the latest they did the census I think last year, so prior to that was like 2017. So the city of Brampton, I'm guessing, is going to come in at close to 800,000 people. We are just we're a suburb of Toronto.
Yeah.
And so the GTA has about 6 million within like a 1-hour drive radius. So it's a very, very large population that we live in. And we have a lot of really great available programs. This is called BOW, which is the Brampton Arts Organization. And they have an open house every Wednesday, the last Wednesday of every month. And so my daughter and I just went in to kind of check it out. So a whole room full of people, and they had art supplies out. People could do whatever they wanted. They have a studio there. You can use their cameras, and there was a GoPro recording and things like that. So we just kind of went in and checked it out. So I did a quick little video. The hallway was just beautiful. Like it was just this giant colorful mural. It was really fun. But we do a lot of programs at we have a lot of our libraries have maker spaces. So they have like Cricut machines you can use. We have 3D printers we can use. Button machines pretty popular. One of the unfortunately it's the branch all the way at the other end of town, but it is getting a 3D a laser engraver machine.
Oh yes.
I don't know really what it's going to do, but they're very excited about it. So and then they offer they're free to use. There's free classes showing how to use them, and they do different arts programs. So about once a week, sometimes my daughter and I go to one of the different art. We went to one last night. They just put on different programs and things. I like to take advantage of, as much of the free programming as we can. Last summer, the city put on it was a macrame class. And I think it was $12. So it was very reasonable. So
look at this. I love this idea.
Yeah, and that's the big terrarium that I haven't done yet, but that's
cool.
I got to figure out a light for it. Because it can't be in front of a window, because it will burn everything up. So it has to have a designated light in order to keep the plants alive. So unfortunately, everything in the little one that I built in this video is actually dead. But that was actually kind of the plan. I happen if the clay on the wall dried out. So it was definitely a practice one. And I had just stuck a couple cuttings in, and I wasn't great about watering it, and it wasn't getting enough light. It was I just didn't have anywhere to put it because it was Christmas decorations everywhere. So I didn't really have anywhere to put it to get light on it. But I really I made my own clay from the
You
garden.
did. You used peroxide to clean it. I
cleaned
noticed
it with the
that.
peroxide, and I slathered it on the back wall. And so the whole purpose of this mini one was to see if it's going to stay on, because they say, oh, if you stay, the clay is going to crack. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean? Like, what does cracking mean?
Right.
So because a lot of these people are doing the clay backdrops and everything, and they're doing them for terrariums that have animals, insects, bugs, geckos, things like that. And so, it's way more important for them to maintain a certain level of everything to,
right.
Promote life. Whereas I'm doing it because I have these really cute houses and I have this big pot, and I wanted to do it just to make kind of like a mini village is more my goal. So even if I can't keep any of the plants alive and I have to go and stick like fake plants in there, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah.
So as a gardener, I can grow pretty much anything from seed. I can grow stuff outside, no problem. I suck at houseplants. Like I'm awful with houseplants. I forget to water them. I don't care is the problem. Just I just don't. Yeah. So my goal here is, you'll see I'm slathering it on the back. I wanted a nice backdrop because I want this for my house. I want hillside kind of effect. And so there are different methods of doing it. And one of the methods is to use clay.
People. Yeah.
And these are the miniature. This is the best part.
Those are the little people.
Those are the super tiny little people that are absolutely obsessed with all things miniature. Miniature trains, miniature houses, doll houses. Like I will sit and literally watch videos of people like making dollhouse furniture. I'm obsessed with that.
Do you ever watch them make miniature food? Yes.
The mini cooking shows. Oh my gosh, yes. And there's one that they do it out of felt. It's like they do stop motion, miniature felt cooking in stop motion, and just the amount of work that goes into like the felting and everything behind it is just mind-boggling. And it's the cutest thing
amazing. It is amazing.
So cute.
I do want to stop for a second and say hi to P&J's Homestead Adventure is here too, Ann.
Wonderful.
And I Jester had his break was over and he had to get back to work, but he really he enjoyed it.
He's a really nice man, really nice fellow, and yeah.
Nice I tell you what, Rachelle, going out and harvesting all your moss, and then you found some in the sidewalk.
I did, and of course, when driving down the street, happened to drive by, and I'm like squatting down with my phone, filming it, and a screwdriver, getting the window down, and he's like, "What on earth are you doing?" I'm like, nothing to see here. Move along. Move on.
I'm
foraging.
Well, Ann, I have a question for you.
Yes.
This is fantastic. And I don't want to stop it. We can come back, but I have to ask you a question, Ann. What time is it?
Oh, I think I do know.
What time is it?
It's snack time. It's break time. We're going to take a break.
So if you don't have a snack, if you have a water, coffee, tea, I don't know, whatever it is you drink.
I'm finishing up on coffee, but I have strawberries that I cut up.
Greens. Now, I have
some microgreens.
I'll just show it. I have a banana, but I'm not going to eat my banana. I've already eaten one this morning. I can't have two of them.
Well, we had a fun discussion about that earlier.
Yeah, I am not eating my banana. That would be Grandma's
you have
gone
to cut
wild.
it up.
Yeah, you'd have to cut that up for
wild.
You have to cut that up for YouTube. Yeah, I don't have a snack. I had a pretty decent breakfast.
I did too. I made myself. Okay. So Monday I had to go see I'm a veteran, Rachelle. So I went to the VA.
Thank you.
And thank you. And I went, and it's veteran food and physical activity log. So I have to start writing down what my nutritionist wants me to write down what I eat. Now I just put cereal, but I'm going to put what kind of cereal after a while and how many calories, and then my banana. And when I did this before, Ann knows I had I lost about almost 60 pounds.
Oh,
and
wow.
it was, and then when my knee went out, I gained it back. Not all of it, not about 40. So I'm going to have to write down. So.
Ooh, that sounds good, Josh. I made some chorizo, but it wasn't the best. But I used a mix. I bought a mix and I thought, oh, I'll just try this. And I mixed it with ground pork. It was okay, but it wasn't
the best. Do you like chorizo? Is that chorizo you said?
Yes.
I got to be honest with you. I watch, I'll just tell them they're called Yankee in the South, and it's a YouTube program. I like Yankee in the South because they live in the Pigeon Forge area, and Will and Dawn, they do all kinds of things. They cruise, they've been to Europe, but their biggest thing is Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevilleville. And so I love it. And last night he had chicken, he had beef and chorizo. And I'm like, just hold the chorizo, I think. I don't know if I like it.
What kind of chorizo? Like Mexican style chorizo or like Spanish, Portuguese?
No, it was a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
I just don't know that I would like it. But now Conquest Josh likes it.
It's spicy.
It's like chorizo. It's like ground pork, but it's like sauce and seasoning.
Yeah, it's spicy.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be spicy. I mean,
it's just ground pork.
It's ground pork with seasoning, right? So if you made it yourself, you could just kind of add in, whatever spice level you wanted.
You know what? I'll just try it. If Conquest Josh likes it, I bet I'll like it. So
it's funny. I cannot buy like Mexican style chorizo here in Brampton. There's hardly any Mexican food here. Actually, it's like the one ethnic food that's really hard to find. There's just not a lot of people from Mexico here. South American, there's a lot of people from Central America, South America, pretty much every other country and culture I can within a 10-minute drive, I can get food from.
Yeah.
Except for Mexican. But here it's a lot more common. The chorizo you find here in the stores is going to be Portuguese. So Portuguese style chorizo is very different. It's minced pork. They don't like to hand chop it. I think they just like to make things more difficult. But because we made it with our neighbor and she was horrified that we'd use the meat grinder because they're sitting there like dicing it by hand, and I was like, yeah, that's not that's not happening. We're grinding it. But basically you grind it and then you marinate it in red wine, garlic, salt, and pimenta sauce, which is ground chili peppers that have been fermented a bit with salt, basically.
Okay.
And so we had made that the year before. We'd made several batches of the pimenta. And so you just kind of dump that in, and the hot pimenta or the sweet pimenta to adjust the heat. And then it gets packed into casings and smoked.
Okay, smoked.
So it's very different seasonings going into it, and it gets smoked. And so it just definitely changes the flavor profile on it. And that is really good.
Okay. One of these days I'll give something a try here. And Joe, thank you. Thank you very much, Joe.
I like spicy too, yeah.
Yeah. My husband, we call him cameraman at the Ann Lynn show. He loves hot spices too. He is our son took over a little company we have, and it's called Tony's Hot Dust, and we can sell it in the state that we live in. What, Ann?
I'm looking at the rhubarb.
Oh, okay. Well, let's get back to Rachelle.
Where's Ann?
I'm watching the rhubarb.
We like rhubarb, Rachelle. Our uncle had
rhubarb.
I forgot to hit the button.
There it is.
Here I am. Yeah, we were now
watching it by yourself.
Sorry, I was watching by myself. That's why I'm going, wow, woo.
She and I are just talking, and we're not seeing rhubarb.
See, like normally, like Josh is saying, like growing up, like I grew up in Oregon, right? So very heavy, Mexican food influence. And the chorizo we always ground, right? It wasn't in casings or anything like that. And you just kind of fry it up, throw in your eggs and all that. So I do enjoy that. I tried making some here a couple weeks ago. The seasoning wasn't great. It was okay. Like I enjoyed it, but my husband was like, this doesn't taste like chorizo because he's only used to the Portuguese style. So
look at that rhubarb though, Lynn.
They're enormous.
I mean, rhubarb pie, strawberry and rhubarb pie. Oh man.
Jam.
I usually do like rhubarb crisp, and rhubarb syrup is one of my daughter's favorite things.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And we'll mix that in with just like some and gin.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, yeah.
Huh.
A splash of gin is really good.
The leaves now are poisonous, right?
No,
I thought they were.
They're not technically poisonous.
When they beat your little doggy,
I can't remember what kind of acid it is. They probably have about as much as they would in the tomato leaves. The thing is they're just they're not digestible.
Okay.
So you don't want, your animals and whatever. It's kind of like a point that's poisonous, but it's not so much that it's poisonous, just that they can't really digest it. But there is some acid in it, and like you can use it you can take the leaves and like put it around to help keep down like weed pressure and stuff. It does help that. Yes, the oxalic acid, the concentrations aren't that high. I mean, there's oxalic acid in spinach and in Swiss chard and whatever. It's slightly higher, but there's been a lot of studies and stuff coming out with it that it's not as dangerous as they used to say. But
I
mean, don't eat it. But
we don't.
Don't eat it. But it's not like you don't have to worry about like wearing gloves or being paranoid about stuff like that. So
no.
I was just thinking about your dog. You wouldn't want the dog to chew on it.
They've never touched it.
Oh,
no. Dexter's actually very picky. He doesn't go, whereas Gizmo would eat a lot more in the garden, but they're more interested in like the cherry tomatoes.
Oh yeah.
He loves the cherry tomatoes. So my daughter was filming and apparently got distracted with Dexter on that part.
Oh my gosh, 6 pounds.
Passed, oh my goodness. Doctor, because it was too spicy. Oh my goodness. So it sounds like he had what is it, like a vasovagal type situation there. That's awful. That's how you know it's a good curry though.
Look at that. Isn't that just gorgeous?
So I do love a good curry. I will admit that.
That is so pretty, Rachelle.
Thank
Your
you.
backyard is so beautiful.
Thank you. It is a labor of love. It keeps me out of the bars, but it's good for the soul. It's good for, and I know there's a real push, especially during the big C.
Yeah.
Pushing for, growing vegetables. And so it kind of felt like people, and I've seen it in, not on like YouTube groups, but in like gardening groups that I've been a part of for years on Facebook. There are a handful of people that are extremely self-righteous about only growing vegetables and how growing a flower or whatever is a waste of time and space and la-di-da-di-dee, and that kind of thing does annoy me. And it's funny because there's one person especially that was really kind of about it in one of the groups, but then like later in the season they were complaining because they didn't have any pollinators, their peppers weren't doing well, their tomatoes weren't doing well, and whatever, and we're like, hello.
Here's your sign.
It's my garden. I can grow what I want. I food,
right?
But the flowers, that's what makes me happy. That's what feeds my soul, right?
Yes,
and that's what brings me joy. And it's also very beneficial. It brings in beneficial insects, and it brings in the pollinators, and it supports the ecosystem. So you know what? Grow what you want. If you want to only grow vegetables, grow flowers, that's fine. I like to do a mix, but I refuse to be to feel bad about
Sure.
About not
This-
growing vegetables.
Your video here, this is what I love to do, and Lynn too.
Yeah,
I've
this is
seen
us.
several things that I was like, ooh, I want that. I want that.
There were so many amazing things I wanted to bring home from this. So
Well-
this is at Arborfoil. It is in just about, I don't know, half an hour drive from me. And it is the oldest outdoor antique market in Canada.
Wow.
Oh.
I can't remember exactly how long it's been there,
I
but
think
it's really big.
said, yeah, I thought it said
It's said in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, at 1961 or 2.
Yeah, it's been there for quite a while. And
Mhm.
so my daughter and I went, we had a really great time. The weather was absolutely perfect.
Oh,
So they have a lot of in the middle, and then out in the parking lot, they have a lot of these pop-up booths and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's open every Sunday from spring till fall, rain or shine. And
I would probably be there.
$2 or $5 to get in or something. But
I would be there probably every
You would be
weekend.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm trying though not to buy anything that I'm not going to use. So I'm trying to be real careful. That's hard.
that's what's really hard. I love finding unique items, and nothing I love more than a good deal.
Me, well, us too. I just got to figure out where you're gonna.
This
I have
is
to know
more
where
of
it's
an
gonna go.
antique place. This is not where you're going to go to look for deals, really.
No.
Yeah.
Like I did at the very end of the video. You'll see I bought a jewelry box, and I think it was like $19, which I thought was a pretty good deal.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, like most of the stuff there is pretty easy. But I love thrift stores, so
Yeah. Oh, us too.
We do too.
Yeah.
that was a joke.
I
The
thought
joke that
they
he passed
found
out because my mom passed out from eating stew, so it can happen.
It can happen.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it was just too much blood went to her stomach, and she got lightheaded and passed out.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
It can happen.
Rachelle, I wanted to say something about the flowers real quick.
Oh yeah.
About, I don't even know how long it's been now. It's probably been 5-6 years ago. I went to church one Sunday morning, and all of a sudden I noticed that my right eye, I wasn't seeing out of my right eye. About 3/4 of it, it was just black. So and it was Memorial Weekend, and I told my husband and my mom, I said, I hate to do this. It's Memorial Weekend, but we better get to the VA hospital right now. I've lost my eyesight. Well, at 9:00 that night, I was in surgery. I had a detached retina. So, and let me tell you, that was Memorial. And here in I was looking forward to having so many flowers and, just potted flowers, hanging baskets that year.
Yeah.
And so that year I had to hold my head down for weeks and weeks. And so I want to say that every spring now, Ann knows I love my flowers because I can see them now. And, when you think that you're not going to be able to see again and to see the beauty in flowers and just see, anyway, I love my flowers. So, that's just people, you can just take your vision for,
You take it for granted for sure.
Granted, and I was really, spring, it was just getting nice here. It was, and bam, just out of the clear blue. So I'm with you. Flowers, they just bring me joy. And I appreciate being able to see the colors. Now we have a Walmart. Okay. And so, right around Mother's Day, and this, they start bringing out all the flowers, the hanging baskets, and the kind you can take and bring home and transplant. And it's just glorious to my soul.
Yeah, it just does something, just seeing the colors. And I don't know, like I grew up, on the West Coast. It's very, very, like there's a lot of rain. So
yeah,
things grow really, really well there in the Willamette Valley. It's like, I think it's like the grass seed capital of the world.
I wouldn't.
It's very, very fertile. That's the word I was looking for. It's very fertile. And from, Victoria. And so as a kid growing up, I went to Butchart Gardens several times.
Oh.
And I think that probably had a big impact on me. There are pictures of me, I think I'm like, 4 or 5, and I'm at the gardens and just seeing, just that mass color and intensity. And it's just,
It is. It's
and we
glorious.
also went to the miniature world.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I think that could possibly be part of my obsession with miniature things.
Yeah.
We also went up to Expo 86 in Vancouver.
Oh.
And I still remember they had this giant like diorama of, it was this huge train set.
Mm-hmm.
And it had hillsides and it had little villages, and I could have stood there all day long watching those little trains going by and the little people and all of that. I just really, really enjoyed that. So actually, during the big C that I absolutely loved watching was garden trains.
Oh.
So it's a whole genre of people that put in, these, not the miniature trains, but they're like, bigger trains, and they will put them in through their garden. And they have a cab view. So if you type in garden train cab view, and literally it's a little tiny camera on the front of the train. And I absolutely love watching these. It's fun to have on just in the background because you just hear like the sound of the train and the wind and whatever. But it's like you're seeing gardens from like if you were like shrunk down as a little mini.
Yeah, from a different.
A lot of these have like they'll just going through the garden, and then they'll come back and there'll be like a little train station with little people, and I love it, and I love the change of perspective.
Yes,
watching that, I think it's pretty cool. So that's
I just came across that. I just came across that a week or two ago.
Oh yeah,
really?
I really honestly I did, and it was, and the train went along his house, and then it came back around and went in his backyard. I sure did.
There's a guy. He's in Cape Cod. It's like Cape Cod trains or something, and he has a snowplow on the front. So when he gets a big he'll film the plow and the train going and clearing the snow off. And then he has attached like a little leaf blower onto the front of it too to clear the tracks in the fall and stuff.
Wow.
Well, I just came, it's really funny because Ann and I, we have different tastes, but on some things we're just right on, aren't we, Ann? I mean, there's certain things we like. It's just, and it's funny because between Glinda, her daughter, and myself and Ann, we'll find out we're watching the same YouTube programs. They come up.
Yeah. Isn't that wild how that happens?
The recommendation. So I think my husband's really glad that we have the hill in the backyard, because if we didn't, there would be trains. There would be trains.
He had trussles.
There's no way Dexter would be knocking so many of that over. And it's funny because his uncle
is facing it. Put it on top of your trellis. Right? On top. On top of the trellis.
I had joked about it like on the fence, but
you could do that.
Yeah. We have a restaurant here. It's a donut store, and they have a train that goes around the top of when we're sitting there having a donut and coffee.
That's
it's a train.
Fun.
Yeah.
My husband's uncle years ago gave us a really nice the HO size train set for the Christmas village, but I just don't have room for it to actually run because my village has to go on this narrow thing. So I have talked about maybe putting a hole in the wall to have it.
Well,
I will come and like decorate your side as well, and the train can just go through this little tunnel.
There you go.
Aren't you into construction?
Well, yeah, we could do it. We could totally do it.
That's right. That's right.
Tell them, build me a shelf about that wide all around up there.
Well, it's funny because it would have to be on the side of the house that I have it on. I would have to switch sides actually to work it because it's an older single gentleman on this side, but my friends are on the other side. Ooh, this isn't a bad idea, but that's where their TV is, so it wouldn't really we'd both have to rearrange our houses. And then our daughters were really good friends, and they were like, thinking, we could pass stuff on the train, right? Just like, we could send food through and whatever.
You could have a little door where if you wanted, you could have it open on each side. I'll tell you what, Glenda.
The dogs would love that. Dexter would be at their house all the time.
When, we lived in, Glenda's dad was in the Army, and we lived in military housing for years. And when we met our neighbors next door, one of our first times in housing, we became very close friends. And in fact, that's who my son-in-law is now, Sir Grace. Ooh. And we were neighbors, and his mom and I were their kindergarten room mothers, we did our families, our two families did everything together. So we always stayed in contact with them. And then the kids ended up getting married. But we drilled a hole between, it was in the closet under our stairs and a closet under their stairs. And we drilled a hole about that big. And we got one of those old-fashioned intercom systems. You're talking like, about 1981, 82. And so we had an intercom system. That was our high technology, man. We had an intercom.
Wow.
Yeah, that was, so we ran the wire.
And jump rope through it, and then you had to talk through the end of the.
Well, we're not quite that old, but it worked.
Well, now hold it. I had that when I was growing up, the tin can. Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. She was, yeah. But anyhow, that was it. Just reminded me of that. I mean, we actually did do that, and when we moved out, we had to patch all those.
Patch the hole up.
It was under the closet, so who cares, But anyhow,
about doing stuff. But now we just pass stuff back and forth over the fence. She passes.
You mean your kitchens adjoined? Are your kitchens adjoined?
Yes.
So you could have a little door. You could have a little
like a takeout window.
Yeah.
We might order.
You could go, hey, have you got any? I need some cinnamon. Have you got cinnamon?
She's an excellent cook.
There you go. Just say, hey, can you make my dinner tonight and pass it? I'll.
Well, actually, yeah, I made food quite a bit, and she makes stuff. So she's from Trinidad, and so she'll make something she doesn't know if I've had before. She'll be like, "Oh, have you tried this?" And so she'll make it. But sometimes she has a certain specialty. So if she makes like homemade pylori, she'll send over some aloo pies, and or I'll get a text, and she'll be like, "Meet me at the fence," and I'm like, running to get whatever she passes.
Yeah, so you need that little.
I pass it over. So
you need a pass through window. You can lock it on each side, but when you want,
use the fence.
Oh, okay.
But we do. My mother-in-law was from Puerto Rico. So recently my husband went down for his aunt's 90th birthday to Puerto Rico.
Wow.
He and his sisters went. They was 12 or 13 kids in the family. And so anyway, she turned 90 and her family had a huge party. So when they arrived, my two sister-in-laws and my husband, they went from family to family to family, right? And they had meals and meals and meals. And
that's amazing.
He's still talking about it. He was in food heaven.
Hopefully he brought something back for you.
No, he didn't. But I'll just tell you real quick, when my mother-in-law, I first met her, Tony and I met in the Army. And so when I first met her, she came, anyway, long story short, she kind of took my kitchen over, and and I didn't like that. And I called my mom. I'm in Everett, Washington, or way out there, and I called and I said, she took my kitchen over. I mean, I really did call and say she took my kitchen over, and she
what
said,
did Mom tell you?
Let her have it. Let her have it. And I said, but it's my kitchen. She said, let her have it. And
she ended up cooking you all of your.
Every time she came, so I know what you mean with Trinidad and Puerto Rican food.
It's so good.
And when she say she was coming, I'd say, Mom, I loved her. Okay. It was just, I was young and stupid, and that was my kitchen.
You were newly married. That's
my kitchen. How dare her take my kitchen? And So I'd say, Mom, what do you want? And she'd say capers, and I would have everything ready for her.
Anyone can come and take over my kitchen anytime.
Yeah.
Anyone can come and take mine over. Ann.
I know. I feel the same way.
I enjoy cooking. Like we eat well. We like to
we eat.
cook. My husband handles the meat, and I do, the other stuff. We've got all the gadgets, right? So he likes to do the sous vide, and we got the smoker, and
yep,
we got all the stuff. And so we don't eat out very often at all. We eat like 99% of our meals are at home.
That's good.
We eat well. we enjoy it, and I like to, we have a lot of variety. We eat a lot of different nationalities and ethnic foods and stuff, right? So we like to mix it up. Fortunately, we have a lot of grocery stores near. Just I can get anything I want. Like it's crazy.
Wonderful.
Like,
that's great.
I saw a recipe this morning for breadfruit, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can just there's an Asian market 2 kilometers away that has everything. I'm like, oh, I can go buy some breadfruit or jackfruit or rambutan, or I can go get some, goat feet, or regular grocery store we can buy goat testicles. So there's that.
Okay.
Yeah,
they're pretty big too, I will admit.
Those are called here country mountain oysters.
Yeah, not my thing.
Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain oysters. Yeah,
no. It's beef. That's beef, not goat.
Yeah. But yeah, so like we just have there's just a huge the city of Brampton is extremely diverse.
Yeah.
Like just thinking from within walking distance from my house, I can get shawarma, I can get 2 or 3 different kinds of Indian food. And it's fun. There's different varieties of Indian food. A lot of people just think Indian food, but there's so many different regions, and South Indian food, and then there's Punjabi, and then there's and it's funny because I have my friends that are Indian are very, very specific on the kinds that they like. Oh, they don't like that one. They only like the samosas from over there, and I'm like, I think they're all good. I'm not super.
Well, I know.
But yeah, we got a lot of big Jamaican influence here. A lot of people from Trinidad, Filipino.
Oh, that's all good food. That's all good eating.
Colombia, and a lot of different Asians, and then there's a lot of different there's a lot of Polish, and so we have the Polish grocery store, and you can go in and get there's 50 million different kinds of pierogi, and
those are great.
So I'm really, a lot of people say when they garden, they grow things that they can't buy in the store, like herbs and spices and fruits and veggies. Right. And I was like, oh, well, I can pretty much buy anything at the grocery store. It's all available. When I first walked into Oceans, which was the first Asian grocery store that had one of the big ones that opened here in Brampton 15 years ago, I walked in and I felt like my parents were very adventurous eaters. We ate a lot of Indian food and Thai food and all kinds of stuff growing up. And because surprisingly, Fairbanks, Alaska is very diverse as well, because they have the 2 bases there. And so there's a lot of people from all over. So there's a lot of variety of food there.
Right.
A ton of food variety. So I grew up eating all of that. I walked in and I looked at the produce section, which is huge, bigger than, most grocery stores. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I have never seen 80% of the produce here. Mm. There'd be 15 different kinds of bok choy.
Yeah.
There's bok choy and some of the fruits and the vegetables. And I was just like, what? I did not realize this whole world existed. And, so I would take pictures of things with the phone. I'd be like, what is this? I would and if I saw someone that was, shopping, I would literally just go up to them and be like, what is that? And what do you do with that? Because people love more than to talk about their food.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah.
People love it. They love to share. They love to talk about their food. They love to talk about recipes. And so I would just be like, so what would you do with that? And then we're like, oh, I'm like, well, could you looking at the eggplant, there's all these different kinds of eggplant. I love eggplant. I said, well, if I'm going to make recommend, because there's 10 different varieties of eggplants. So that has been a really big, eye opener here. But yeah, I can get pretty much any variety, there's 5 different kinds of basil and whatever in the stores, right? And
yes.
I can get fish mint. I can get it, and then if you go into like the Indian grocery store, I should do a video walking through, because I have no idea what probably 80% of those the spices are, right? These bags of stuff. And I'm like, I have no idea what these are. And, I make stuff at home, but it's tip of the iceberg compared to, what they're actually making and doing. So I do try to make, expand my horizons with food. I follow different food bloggers and try their recipes and things like that. But
food is one of the things. Food brings us together. Food is everybody's on the same page. Everybody loves food.
It has a language.
Yeah, food has a language. Yeah, and that brings us all together. And we need that more and more. We need that camaraderie and everybody coming together. And I feel like that your channel and all these other ones that are here today in the chat, we have gardeners, we have homesteaders, we have people that that are fishermen, fisherwomen. We have all kinds of communities here today in our chat that represent all these different wonderful things. And we can bring those together and share with each other. And that's how we learn from each other. So, I mean, we could learn a lot from watching yours. How to grow all kinds of stuff
grow way too many plants that you don't know where you're going to put.
Well, yeah, there's that problem.
You have to it off on your neighbor.
You could become a plant hoarder.
Before last, I decided I was going to do a bit of a plant sale and sell some like tomatoes and peppers and stuff.
Yeah.
So I had 110 tomato plants.
Oh my.
I have room for 12.
Oh my.
So I did sell quite a few, and I was left with a lot still. And so it was, I think it was, I can't remember. It was one of the nice big warm weekends here in end of May. And I literally just put all of the rest of my tomatoes that I had in the wagon. And I walked up and down the street, and that was out in their yard. I just gave them to I was like the crazy tomato lady handing out. And it was really cool because there were a few neighbors that had moved in that I hadn't met yet, because especially if you move in over the winter, like you don't until spring anyway. So I managed to meet a handful of people, and they're like, "Oh, sure, thanks." Tomato. What kind do you want? I'm like, I've got cherry tomatoes, I've got indeterminate tomatoes, I've got dwarf tomatoes, I've got.
That is so sweet.
I'm sorry to hear that, Joe. I hope she's not in the chat.
Wow.
Rocky Mountain. That's what it is. Rocky Mountain. Yes.
No,
but
that's
hilarious. That's beef. That's beef. That's not goat. That's beef.
Oh. Well, anyhow. Well, Rachelle, it has been such a pleasure to have you on our channel today.
Thank you so much to have me. I've had so much fun. I love being able to talk about, the garden and everything.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Well, we'll have to have you back.
Sure. And I behaved myself. Aren't you proud of me?
You don't have to do that here with us.
You have freedom here.
Yeah,
we're kind of,
we can be. Yeah. We could be a lot more fun, can't we, Lynn?
You know what? Ann's always saying, Lynn, lighten up.
Let go.
Instead of the snack break, next time we'll do cocktails.
All right.
Mimosas, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But so we will definitely, if you will come back, we would love to have you come back later, maybe later in the summer, like once everything's really going to
show you some stuff outside and
we want to see the progress of your
I don't know, Joe, were you here to see my dwarf tomatoes?
Joe. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Joe was in when I was doing my show and tell earlier.
I don't think so. I don't think he was.
Well, he'll have to go back and watch the beginning.
Oh, yeah, I'm giving it away. Sorry. I'm giving it away for free.
Well, would you like to, you have anything you'd like to say before we go? First, we'll make sure everybody that if you're not subscribed, you got to go over there and subscribe now to Brampton Gardener.
Yes.
Becky.
Becky.
Hi, potato woman. She's
I did put out a long video last week. It's 25 minutes and it's all about when can you start your seeds, which is like the biggest question everyone has.
Yes.
I don't expect people that aren't really into the whole seed starting thing to watch the whole thing. But I just did a quick, I think it's 5 or 6 minutes long, and it's a walkthrough of the Johnny's website's seed starting calculator. So if you want to start any kinds of vegetables or fruit and you don't know when to start it or when you can be prepared to plant it out, it's a free calculator on their website. You just pop in your last frost date. So video is
I watched that.
So yeah, it's a short and sweet video, but I find that is the best, absolute best seed starting calculator that I have found. And it just really helps break down all the different plants that you're going to be starting. So I do recommend go watch that video if you have any questions about seed starting.
Okay.
But I will get to editing this video soon when I actually start these seeds. I'm in the process, but
okay.
Well, I tell you, it's been such a pleasure, and we are looking forward to having you back then, and later in the summer.
Maybe Dexter can make an appearance if we're outside.
Oh, I would love that. We are dogs. We love dogs. We're animal lovers, aren't we, Lynn? We love animals. But well, we're gonna let you go and say goodbye and say thank you so much, Rachelle.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I've been excited to make it, and I wasn't sure. We had a job yesterday. We weren't sure if we're gonna have to go back today to finish it. And I was like, oh, please. So we got it all done.
Good deal.
Yeah. And let's give her some granny kisses
out. Okay. That's what we do. Right. Mwah. 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 Bye. Thank you so much.
They were coming in fast.
Well, thank you again. And we look forward to seeing you soon back on our show.
I can't wait to start seeing some more green in the grow room.
We want to
check on my babies. So
we need to see that.
So keep an eye on those videos. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Oh,
well, yay.
What a wonderful time together.
Yep. That was awesome. And I'm looking forward to having her back. We'll get her booked. And have her back. And want to say thank you.
Dexter too.
And Dexter too. Hey, Scott, I know you've been dropping her link there. Make sure people need to see her link, and if you're not already subbed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. And Lynn and I just want to say thank you to everyone that's been here today. If you're watching the replay, thank you for taking the time to watch the whole thing. We appreciate it, right, Lynn?
We sure do.
And you made it, Lynn. You made it to the end.
I know. My knee is not hurting, but when I get up, because it's going to be, it's an old-fashioned term called stoved up. It means it's going to be tight and it won't want to move and it's going to be sore. But right now, there's no pain.
You're doing well. Okay.
I'm doing, but when I get to go, one thing, Ann, who's here next week?
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. And it's Valentine's Day. We're going to be spending Valentine's Day with Scotty.
Scott from Rambling
with the Brooms. Yeah. He's our Valentine date next week.
Ooh. That's a pretty good date. We're in good company.
Yeah, he's going to be our Valentine's date next Wednesday, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern. And then after the show, after that, we're going to have on the 21st, it's going to be Dee from the Homestead in the Wood and Glenda from Grace and Fire. She's going to take my place because I am going to be Dave and I are taking a vacation for a few days.
Mini vacation, aren't you?
Well, yeah, mini vacation. So it's going to be fun. And but anyhow, Glenda was sub for me, and I know you're going to have a wonderful time with Dee.
Oh, I'm looking forward.
And then on the 28th, we are going to have CB from Hooga Homestead. Yes. And then, look, you guys, we are booking into March.
Okay, so that's your key. that's your heads up to
Yeah.
let Ann
We have
know.
March the 6th. I don't have a banner for it, but we're going to have Wendy. She's Mrs. Hardneck from Hardneck Farms. Wendy is on the 6th. And then, now keep your fingers crossed on this because it depends on his schedule. But on the 13th of March, I asked Casey from Ormsby Farms to join us. And he said yes, as long as he's got his things under control there on his homestead. He said, I think that'll be okay. Right. So I have him tentatively set for the 13th of March. I am so excited about that because we love Casey. Well, we love all of you, but I mean, we haven't had him back for a while.
We haven't talked to Casey in a while.
Yeah. And then after that, our schedule, we have March the 20th and March the 27th. Who's going to take those spots? Huh? Who's going to take those spots? Yes. Who's going to join us? So if you would like,
Josh, what are you doing in March?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Might be good fishing season though.
I know that they have stuff going on, but all right. So we need
you, Rachelle. She said
pew, 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 pew. Yeah. So think about it. If you'd like to be a guest on our show, hey, if you can't make a Wednesday, but you would still like to be a guest, we can always meet up with you and we can video it and then we can show it on our Wednesdays. If you want to do like an evening, we could probably do that too. We will work with you. We can, video it ahead of time. Or we could have a show live on a special date and time. So just shoot us an email at lynann1740@gmail.com and say, hey, I'll be on the show. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I tell you what, is Major still here? Major,
are you still here? Sometimes the Major goes in and out.
Yeah. All right. We'll see if Major will come on the 20th of March. I know he wants to come on. So
Major, we'll reach out to you. Let's see here. Let me type in the chat. Major.
Okay.
Can you be
March the 20th?
March 20th.
Oh, it's the day after the first day of spring. How about that?
I don't think he's here right now.
Well, bye, P&Js. We want you on. We want you on, We want you on.
She's going to be ready one of these days. She's going to be ready. They thinking about it. That's
okay. Keep thinking about it. Let us know. All right, you guys. Well, we're going to hop off of here and I have to go. I ordered, I went to the eye doctor and Lynn, and I had to get another contact, so now I'm wearing two again. And then I went ahead and said, well, I'm going to get a pair of glasses, broke down and thought I'll get glasses because it would be nice to have glasses. And they're pink. They're pink. So I'm going to go pick them up. Yeah, pink. They're light pink.
Purple. Remember, I have purple.
Yeah, you had purple. So I'm going to go. That's why I have to go this afternoon and pick them up. So anyhow, I want to say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for being here. We love you all. Thank you so much. If you just shoot us an email, if you think you'd like to be on the show, if you're thinking about it, you can even say, I'm thinking about it. I'm a little shy, but I think I'm thinking about it. That'd be awesome. Lynn, are you ready to go? We gotta finish the rest of our day now.
I'm ready.
All right. Ready?
Ready?
Okay.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Okay. Bye, everybody. See you next week right here.